All right, guys, well, the OBS updates continue, and we are back working on blue steel back here. We're doing a few cosmetic but functional upgrades today. For those that are new to the channel, this is blue steel, our 96 F150. And as many of you can see by our playlists, our love for the OBS Fords runs deep. This truck keeps the shop running every single day. It is basically my daily driver. So I have had it as somewhat of a rolling restoration since I got it. And slowly but surely, I'm just updating things that needed attention since I got it from the previous owner. And today is no different. We are gonna do another update on the truck. The goal here is to make it just that little bit more livable, and cosmetically, it will look just that little bit more clean as well. So let me show you what we're gonna be working on. And some of you guys may have guessed it, but we have some extremely tired looking headlights. The corner markers and blinkers, side markers, they look okay, but I got a kit. We are gonna replace all of these so they are as good as new. And we also have some updated headlight bulbs that will make the lights that much brighter as well. Really, first of all, it'll really just brighten up the front of the truck that little bit, but equally make the night vision that much better. So with that, let's get started. For those that are interested, this is the kit we're going to be using. This is, I believe, from Headlight Depot. They did not sponsor this video, but I have used their headlights in the past on our red OBS Franck, rest in peace. And so yeah, we're gonna use the same kit, but the complete headlight assembly kit. We're gonna get this on the front of blue steel with some bulb updates, and we will be back in business. So let's get over to the truck and start tearing this thing down. All right, so step one, gotta get these surrounds out. So we start with these Phillips head screws on the top. These are actually not in terrible shape on the truck, a little tired, but for now we're gonna leave them. But you gotta get these surrounds out, like so. Oh, that's making a good sound. So I went ahead and removed the battery tray. Thought it might help with visibility for you guys. Sorry, not the battery tray, but I went ahead and removed the battery so you guys could see a little bit better. And basically just down here, there's an 11 mil nut. Have to remove that, and then the housing will come off, and this is the same on both sides. So I'm gonna undo this, and then we can get on to the next step. Hiding down here in this hole is another 11 mil. So we're gonna work on getting that out next. You can see I removed the headlight bulb just for better access for my wrench, so that's what we're gonna do now. All right, well that fought me a little bit, but typical 30-year-old truck problems. I can kind of show you what was going on for me. This has been apart before because the truck was repainted once to its original color, and I think they over-tightened the headlights when they put them back in, and basically it's caused a few issues here. But let me show you kind of what I was dealing with and why you saw me kind of wrestling to get this thing out. And the issue is right here and back there. It's basically what holds the turn signal in down here. I think these were done up too tight when something was reinstalled, and basically with the old brittle plastic, these came out instead of the nuts on the back. And what that meant is this little bracket here that holds the side marker is basically stuck. So I was able to unbolt it off the side marker to get it out, but we're obviously gonna have to get these out before we put the new assembly back in. Well, in true old car fashion, one of those had to fight me. I ended up having to Dremel the bolt out, so cut it off. And now I have the nut and the little nub in my vise, and it's soaking with some penetrating oil so I can get that nut off, because we are gonna need that for reassembly. So while that soaks, let's get back over to the truck and we'll get the main headlight out as well. All right guys, so this is what we're working with, the remainder of the headlight assembly. And so yeah, we gotta get this faded old thing out of here. The process to do that, if we come down here, let me get you guys some light real quick. You can see that clip, we need to pull that up and out. And then there's actually one hiding under this piece of trim here. So we'll move that out of the way and I'll show you where it is. And then there's a couple down the bottom we got to address as well. All right, folks, well, that was a little bit of a pain in the butt to get out, but we do have the headlight assembly removed. Let me show you these clips and kind of what I found worked well for me for removing them. Hopefully it makes your life a little bit easier as well. So here are the clips in question. And they're kind of made up of a few different little sections. We got this top tab here, and then we have these eyelets on the side, and then these little tabs above the eyelets. Basically, these little tabs clip into the dowel that comes through from the headlight and locate it. What I was able to do, I used a little pick tool, and I pulled each one of these back and up out of the little locating slot in the dowel so that they were basically sitting just above where they would normally slot in. So I did that on both sides, and by doing that, technically these were no longer clipped in, and it allowed me to just get a pair of pliers on the top and kind of wiggle and pull up like this, and yeah, they came out. I have managed to apparently lose one of these in the process, so I've been hunting around for it. Hopefully I can find one, otherwise we'll have to be making a trip to the parts store. But anyway, once those are out, the headlight comes out and you have a nice empty headlight bucket like this, and it's time for reassembly. Certainly not the easiest headlight assembly I've removed in my time. I remember I had a New Edge Mustang, actually had a couple of them, and those literally just had 2 pins you pulled out and the whole assembly came out. It was super, super easy. This definitely has a few pieces to it, and then you're dealing with 30-year-old plastics, things are a little rusty, stuff like that. So just take your time. Be patient, you know, if you can get penetrating oil on stuff, do it. Otherwise, after the fact, do it so that you can get all the hardware off as well. But anyway, let's get on with this, and yeah, we'll start the process of reassembly. We do have to take the corner light and the blinker out of the surround now, so let's get on to that. All right, we just got this up on the front of the truck and flipped around. So this is gonna be kind of the turn signal here, your corner light here. As you can see, I took that one bolt out. That was for the bracket that was stuck behind the hardware that basically spun out of these instead of coming off the back of the studs. So this is 11 millimeter. In my case, I've already done it. We've got one more up here. So we're just gonna carefully undo this guy. I'm just gonna use a hand wrench, again, with the spirit of being careful here. And this will remove your corner light turn signal as well. It's pretty straightforward. Starting to wish I got the surrounds at the same time because this is quite a lot of work, but you know, I have a magical way of turning a small project into a big one, so maybe it's best. So that's the old corner light out. Looks to be original, says Ford on it, so that's out of the way. And now we will get the turn signal here. As we can see, if I move you guys just slightly, like so. We got a screw here, so let's get that undone. And again, just remember you're dealing with old plastic here, so don't crank things down and be careful because it is all really brittle, especially if you're reusing any of this old stuff. I know some people might be watching this just to do the headlight. Yeah, see, I don't know if you heard that, but that was basically the plastic right here. I'll try and zoom in, but it just cracked just by undoing the screw. So definitely be careful. And honestly, my words of wisdom, spend a little bit extra and just replace everything. I'm actually looking here and there's already stress cracks, so I'm sure this thing is gonna, yeah, it just kind of splits out as we do it. but nonetheless, last screw, and this should come out of the surround. All right. Let's see what's holding this. Probably, oh yeah, look, 30 years of dirt. It's probably the best bonding agent known to man. All right, well, here it is. Not bad shape. I'm gonna give it my typical simple green treatment. Maybe one of these days they'll sponsor me, the amount of stuff I use from them. But it just seems to always work well with cleaning up this old stuff. It's not too harsh, but you know, gets all the dirt off. As you can see, this is original stuff, so it's all beat up already. Lots of time in the Florida sun and on the road, but it's good just to get the dirt off. So I'm gonna get on with this, and when you meet me back here, we'll be on the reassembly. I have the other light out now, and I thought I'd just show you the bracket here on the left side, the little black one. This is how it mounts, and it kind of ties the blinker and the side marker together just to give it some structure. So, like I said, I know that was kind of not in the piece of the video I showed you before because I had to take it out because of a broken bolt. But this is what it's supposed to look like, mainly sharing this just as reference for reassembly. So hope you find that useful. And just a quick progress update. It's all out and cleaned up on this side. And same over here. So we've got everything removed, given everything a quick wipe down. I'm just doing some final preparations and we can start the reassembly process, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm super excited for. Looking at what the old headlights look like compared to this new setup, super awesome. And I will say there are a bunch of different options you can do for headlights in these trucks. You can get super fancy, have projectors, all sorts of stuff. I just went for OEM. I just love the stock look. That's really what I'm going for with this truck overall. Just getting it back to original as much as possible. And so really, yeah, I just did OE replacements. Maybe I'll give you a quick tease of the difference between the old and new though. So this should give you guys at least an idea of the difference that we're gonna make by doing this update. Yeah, you can tell. These weren't doing much of anything anymore, so I'm super excited to get these in. Anyway, give you a full overview once they're on the truck. All right, well, reassembly time. Let's get this headlight in, and then we can get the surround put together, and we will be on the home stretch. Okay, so here is the new headlight unit. Pretty straightforward. These are the little dowels that go where the clips were. We were just removing a few minutes ago. The most important thing is getting this adjusting rod in the right place, so I'll kind of show you guys where that goes. These did come with bulbs. I elected to swap them out with a preferred set. I'll put those in the description below. For me, I just want as much brightness I can get kind of from a regular halogen bulb. Just, you know, these are old lights, they're not the greatest. But anyway, we start the little rod. It needs to come up under here. So we can kind of poke that up. And then it basically sits behind these dowels here, and then they just kind of line up here. Might take me a minute doing this. A little blind. There we go, guys. So here, here, and here. Basically, this is in now. Let go carefully. And what we want to do is get our clips and install those. So I will probably get one started and then I can show you guys how to do it, but these are the clips. You know, you can always source some new ones. You can kind of see this one's pretty rusty, but I think they'll work fine. But they just clip to hold those dowels in place. So we're gonna get those in next. All right, well, I'll do my best for you guys to see. It is very buried in here, but you can kind of see the dowel poking through. And what I found, at least with the top ones, I have one of the magnetic little sticks, and I can just push the light in and then basically start pushing the clip down. There she goes. All right. So a little bit of a push, but you can see it started now. And then what I've used, I just had a chisel. It sounds a little aggressive, but I've used that and a rubber mallet. And kind of just gently. There it goes. And it's in. So you got to repeat this 3 times, but you can see now headlights securely in place. So I'll get on with the last ones and you'll meet me back to get the remaining pieces on. All right, well, next up is kind of reassembling this. What I've found is a pretty good fit considering they're aftermarket. We just take the lower lamp, get it under here first. I'll kind of tuck in like so. And then, yeah, you just got to kind of move it around where everything lines up close. You'll see like the holes are a little off, so you have to just apply a slight bit of pressure. I kind of found that just to be the case, but it all basically tucks in here pretty well. So I'm going to get these screws started, and then we'll move on to the corner light. All right, so here's a glimpse from the back. We got the corner light in, so those are just the 2 11mm. We have the little bracket in on the stud. Thankfully, new lights have new studs. And then, yeah, screw here, here, and here. As you can see, they do not line up in the exact same place as OE. They're slightly offset. But let me show you. When you kind of have it all assembled like this, it looks pretty good. So, yeah, next up, we're gonna get this around the headlight, and we are one step closer to being done. All right, guys, well, there you have it. We have a new set of complete headlights, turn signals, side markers installed, and I cannot wait to show you the finished product. And here you have it. And I have to say, I am really thrilled with how this turned out. It's funny how just the nice clean lenses really brighten up the front of the truck. And now it makes me say, hey, should I have replaced all the bright work in the front at the same time? But maybe that's for a future project. And just another angle for you guys to kind of show the nice clear lenses and what a difference that makes. So admittedly, I have not adjusted the headlights yet, so they're probably a little crooked. Wait for it to get dark outside, and then I'll probably spend some time getting those adjusted correctly. One, so I don't blind anyone, and equally so I can see as best as possible. And if you found your way to the channel because of this video, don't you worry, there's plenty more OBS content coming out very soon, and I highly recommend you hit the subscribe button now. Also, we have tons more content in the pipeline, our Jaguars, our Land Rovers. We got a huge project coming on the Viper and the 928 as well. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and definitely drop me a comment. Let me know if you thought this was helpful and what you think the outcome is as far as making the truck look a little bit more fresh in the front. But until next time, I'll see you on the next episode.